Sojourner Truth, 1797 to 1883. Celebrating iconic women for Women History Month. Miss Truth was African-American evangelist and reformer who applied her religious fervor to the abolitionist and women's rights movement. Born Isabella Van Wagener in 1797 in Ulster County, New York, passed away November 26, 1883 in Battle Creek, Michigan. Isabella was the daughter of slaves and spent her childhood as an abused chattel of several masters. Her first language was Dutch. Between 1810 and 1827, she bore at least 5 children to a fellow slave named Thomas. Just before New York State abolished slavery in 1827, she found refuge with Isaac Van Wagener, who set her free. With the help of Quaker friends, she waged a court battle in which she recovered her small son, who had been sold illegally into slavery in the South. About 1829, she went to New York City with her 2 youngest children, supporting herself through domestic employment. Since childhood, Isabella had had visions and heard voices, which she attributed to God. In New York City, she became associated with Elijah Pearson, a zealous missionary. Working and preaching in the streets, she joined his retrenchment society and eventually his household. In 1843, she left New York City and took the name Sojourner Truth, which she used from then on. Obeying a supernatural call to travel up and down the land, she sang, preached, and debated at camp meetings, in churches, and on village streets, exhorting her listeners to accept the biblical message of God's goodness and the brotherhood of man. In the same year, she was introduced to abolitionism at a utopian community in Northampton, Massachusetts, and thereafter spoke in behalf of the movement throughout the state. In 1850, she traveled throughout the Midwest, where her reputation for personal magnetism preceded her and drew heavy crowds. She supported herself by selling copies of her book, The Narrative of Sojourner Truth, which she had dictated to Olive Gilbert. Encountering the women's rights movement in the early 1850s and encouraged by other women leaders, notably Lucretia Mott, she continued to appear before suffrage gatherings for the rest of her life. In the 1850s, Sojourner Truth settled in Battle Creek, Michigan. At the beginning of the American Civil War, she gathered supplies for black volunteer regiments and in 1864 went to Washington, D.C., where she helped integrate streetcars and was received at the White House by President Abraham Lincoln. The same year, she accepted an appointment with the National Freedmen's Relief Association, counseling former slaves, particularly in matters of resettlement. As late as the 1870s, she encouraged the migration of freedmen to Kansas and Missouri. In 1875, she retired to her home in Battle Creek, where she remained until her death. Again, Sojourner Truth, 1797 to 1883, celebrating iconic women for Women History Month, March 1st through March 31st. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Please leave your respectful comments below. Thank you all. Bless you.